What did I do after I lost my car? Okay, well, for the past few months, I have just been like traveling a lot. It was partially planned and partially not planned. As you know, or you might not know, but I lost my car that I was living out of. So, yeah, I had to junk it and I just pretty much like it's all gone. Like everything's gone. Like I just don't have the car anymore. Like it does not exist anymore. So I took a train to Boston where I have friends and it was like the closest area that I could get to that I have friends. And yeah, I just took an Uber to the train station, took the train to Boston, and I stayed about a week with my friend. He gave me a whole tour of pretty much everything that Boston has to offer. I mean, clearly, of course, there's always like a lot that I haven't seen, a lot of local things I haven't experienced, considering I was only there for like a week. But I saw and did as much as I could do before I had to leave for Asia. So I had already had this like Asia trip planned prior, and I was going to just leave my car somewhere and figure it out and just like hope that my car is okay. But now I don't have to worry about that. I wish I had a little bit longer in Boston just because I feel like I could have had a more local experience hanging out with my friends and stuff. I kind of just did like some basic touristy things and he showed me around and we walked around a lot, but I didn't really like do that much. I spent a lot of days just sitting inside thinking about life and how I lost my car. But I did as much as I could, and I feel like I got a pretty good amount done in Boston. I would like to come back and explore a little bit more and get more of an experience, but for the time that I had, I think I did pretty good. It was time for me to fly to Korea, which I only was there for like one night. It was a 23-hour layover. And I was staying in Itaewon, and I went to some bars, and we're just not even going to talk about how the rest of the night went, but it was just a layover for me on my way to Malaysia, and I'm just going to have to redo Korea one day. I just wanted to have a taste of Korea, you know? It certainly wasn't long enough, and I'm definitely going to come back in the future to replace those memories, but I somehow, some way make it to Malaysia, and room tour, this is my Airbnb. This one was about 33 US dollars a night, and that's kind of like on the pricier side. Like you can get some really cheap places for like 20 bucks, but I wanted this cool loft with a beautiful view, and I like to have a whole place to myself because with my international traveling, I have had experiences where people stole my money or people stole my stuff, and I'm also just a very private person and I like to have my own private room, kitchen, and bathroom. Because, you know, to save money, sometimes I like to cook, or I like to at least have the option to cook, or like more than just like noodles. But honestly, when I'm internationally traveling, I'm usually eating out anyway. But I just like to have, you know, access to a kitchen and my own personal bathroom so I could take long shits. So I kind of got in a habit with traveling where I just kind of wing it and I just kind of like don't have a plan. Like I just get to the location and I'm like, okay, and then I look at plans because I've just been living so free-spiritedly like for so long. So I really didn't have a plan. I had no idea what to do. All I did was just walk around random places. Like honestly, they were mostly shopping malls, but this one here is like this botanical garden, and it was actually really pretty. It's a pretty huge park, and it was really nice to walk around. It was a little bit rainy. It rains a lot in Malaysia, just casually. Like literally, my sleep schedule was pretty messed up, so I would wake up at like 4 a.m. and I would watch the sunrise and then eat breakfast and I would just do a bunch of touristy stuff, and it starts raining around sometimes 12, sometimes it'll be a little bit later, like 1 or 2 or 3, 4 at the latest, but it definitely does rain for like the whole night. I don't know what I was expecting when I booked my trip to Malaysia, but I was pretty surprised at how different it is from what I imagined. I'm not even quite sure what I was imagining, but I knew for sure I wanted to see these towers. I am going to like seriously butcher like the names of everything, so I'm just not even going to say the names of anything. But this place was really nice. Like it was like a mall and there was like a little water show outside. I come to realize that there's a lot of shopping malls and just like places to walk around. And honestly, it was so hot and rainy that I usually wanted to be indoors anyway. So I usually just found somewhere indoors to walk around. So that's why I ended up at a lot of shopping malls. But I also like going to like little markets and stuff, and they have a lot of those. So I found one on, I just literally just Googled shit. Like I just looked on Google Maps at like things nearby, and I like look at the pictures, and I'm like, okay, that looks cool. This one was Pedaling Street Market, and I really liked it. It reminded me of Chinatown, reminded me of home. I was surprised at the amount of like Chinese people in Malaysia. I mean, I seriously just went into Malaysia not knowing a single thing. I had like one friend who I didn't even end up meeting up with, but I really just came in here just not knowing anything about Malaysia. And I learned that there's a lot of Chinese people in Malaysia. And it was actually kind of fun for me to like practice my Chinese. My Chinese is terrible, by the way. Like, I cannot speak Chinese. Like, I went to Chinese school and I have the most American accent, and like I can't even make sentences. Like, I can only say like the most basic things, but I can read and write a little bit better than I can speak, but like still not very good. But it was kind of fun, like practicing with the Grab drivers. Grab is like the Uber of Southeast Asia, and like they honestly like run Southeast Asia. I wasn't very good, and most of my Grab drivers just told me to give up, but that's fine. This is the pool. They had an infinity pool at the hotel I was staying at, and yeah, I only went there one day. I wanted to go more, but like honestly, by the time I like would get there, like it would be cold. Not cold, but like colder, and it's like rainy, and I wanted to go on like a hot sunny day, but there weren't really a lot of hot sunny days. But yeah, another touristy thing I did was go to the caves, and I was like, oh, this looks super Instagram-y. Like, yeah. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to post this on Instagram because it looks so touristy, but it was really, really pretty and nice, and I love seeing all the monkeys. Like, I knew that there are a lot of monkeys in Southeast Asia because I went to Bali, and I just, I hear stories and, like, my friends travel and stuff. But there were so many, and there was, like, so many around me. So I made sure to get like a little hand strap for my phone to make sure they don't steal it. But honestly, all these monkeys really want is food. So as long as you don't have food, I don't think they're going to like jump on you or anything. Although I thought it would be funny if they did. So you can actually go like underneath the caves. Like, you have to pay. It's probably not that much, but I am such a cheap bitch. I did not want to fucking pay shit. So I just went to the free part, which was like the temple. You do need to cover your shoulders and like your legs, but a lot of tourists weren't doing that. I mean, it's a fucking temple, for fuck's sake. Like, just cover yourself and be respectful. I don't know why people have such an issue with that. Like, whatever. Anyways, it was a really beautiful cave. The free part is not very large. Like, you pretty much just go in this part of the cave and then you just walk out. And I seem to like come at a good time. Luckily, my jet laggedness helped me get up in the morning so that I could get here really early before all the tourists came, because it's a very popular destination, and when I was coming down there was a lot of more tourists. But I took my time going down since I honestly didn't really have any other plans to do. I just took a Grab here, and it's kind of out of the way. Like, it's away from like a lot of the other tourist attractions, so I didn't really know what to do. So I took my sweet time observing the monkeys, and then I was going to walk a restaurant or something, but I couldn't find one that was walking distance, so I ended up just taking a Grab back. And then later on I wanted to go to the night market. So this is the largest night market in KL, maybe even in Malaysia, I think. It's like just like a really long street, and they had so many different options. Like, I noticed that when you go to night markets in Malaysia, it's a lot of the same foods over and over. Like the food stalls are just like copy paste, but this one had a lot of variety, a lot of Chinese food and like unique Chinese dishes. I ate so much, and I spent all of my remaining cash on food and some clothes that I got at the night market. And then I didn't finish everything because I bought so much food, but I saved this little mushroom bao. It's like, it has chicken and mushroom carbonara in the bao shaped like a mushroom. Unfortunately, it was my last day in KL, so I headed to the airport the next morning, and I was supposed to fly to Vietnam, but I accidentally kind of fucked up, and I got stuck in Malaysia for like another 4 days. So I head to Langkawi Island. I spent so long at the airport trying to figure out where I wanted to go, since I was stuck in KL, and I didn't really want to stay in KL for another 4 days. I feel like I was pretty comfortable with everything I did, and I feel like I did all that there was to offer for the most part. I mean, I probably could have found a few things to do here and there, but I wanted to see somewhere new. So I was literally just looking on the map and just tapping random places that were nearby that I could fly to, checking the prices, and I decided on Langkawi Island. I don't want this vlog to be too long, so I will just explain what happened and why I ended up in Langkawi in my next vlog, and that'll be like just all Langkawi Island and see if I could fit in Penang Island too. So, yeah. Alright. Bye.